Before 2015, the role of young people in peace building and conflict prevention was seen from a deficit side. But in 2015, the narrative changed with the United Nations Security Council adopting the United Nations Security Council Resolution 2250. And today, we are marking the 5th anniversary. What we're doing here today is very significant because, number one, we are trying to mobilize stakeholders' commitment for the localization and domestication of 2250 in Nigeria. Here today, you saw a lot of stakeholders in attendance. You saw ECOWAS Commission being represented. We saw a lot of youth groups in attendance. We saw a lot of security agencies being in attendance, and a lot of people were exchanging ideas on how we can together, strengthen the youth peace and security agenda in Nigeria.
I think the work that we do as young peace builders is very important. It's important to be able to carry the message of peace building to our peers, to be able to use creative means such as non-formal education, such as use of sports and arts and culture and media rather, to be able to reach vulnerable young people and then to transform them from agents of violence to agents of peace.
We have a constitution that also provides that you're innocent until proven guilty, which actually means that protection of young people means that security agencies, government enforcement agencies should obey the provisions of the constitution. It is important we protect our youths, and government has the primary responsibility to protect them.
We should begin to identify with the youths and be able to mentor them up, and so that they get to understand us, so that the intergenerational gap will be bridged. We need to dialogue with them. They have a concern. They want to participate in the development of the country.
The way I've utilized the YPS agenda, that's the Youth Peace and Security 2250 agenda, in my work is by promoting the inclusion of young women in peace and security. So I actually have a project where I support inclusion of young women in fight against violent extremism. So I created a platform called the Young Women Teaching Peace platform. The Young Women Teaching Peace platform encourages and supports young women in local communities to have peace clubs where they come together to have community dialogue and discuss on issues on how to prevent and counter extremism.
Much to be done by the youths because of the number of youths we have, especially in Nigeria. The Nigerian youth represents more than 60% of the total population, and there's so much misinformation around what the youth can do.
And so for a segment of population like that, they simply should have a voice. In addition, when they comprise such a large segment of the population, then it's important that their opinions be heard. It's important that their voices be heard. It's important that they be involved in the governance process. I've always shared this experience. Imagine what happens in our states assemblies, in our national, in the Senate, where you have senators getting up and fighting among themselves. Question is, they didn't start learning to the leaders when they should have started learning. And so if you don't involve young people at the time they're young and growing and building experience, then you're going to have leaders who at their old age, in their old ages, behave like children. So Nigeria young people feel really threatened. Now, no young person really feels safe, and that's not good for Nigeria. Young people have a lot they can offer: ideas, expertise, innovative ways of going about things. But when they don't feel safe to express themselves, and when they speak and are perceived as anti-government, that's not good for the country, it's not good for society, it's not good for the world. Protecting young people is important, it's key. Because, you know the saying, they've always said young people are the leaders of tomorrow. No, they should be the leaders of today. But the only way they can do that well is that they feel protected.
So currently, based on my foundation work, we have been using empowerment and decent work as a tool to improve peace across youths and women, because we believe an empowered mind will shy away from violence.
Looking at the work we do as a non-profit organization, we cannot do without partnership, we cannot do without support both from private, government and intergovernmental organizations. So mostly we need support to advance our work and to expand the work we do. This support ranges from technical support, strategic support, and funding. These are basically what we need to advance our work.
Another important highlight of today's event was the public presentation and unveiling of our latest publication titled Connecting and Amplifying Voices of Youth Building Peace in Nigeria. One important thing about this book is that it brings to the fore, again, the empirical evidences of the contributions of young people to peace and security. Many of the stories that were captured in that publications were stories that hitherto were not, given the needed space to tell their stories. And with that publication, we give them a platform for them to share their interesting stories, how they are putting Resolution 2250 into practice, the challenges that they are facing in the course of, carrying out peace building interventions, and how they are overcoming those challenges, and of course, sustaining their work. Another thing that we did here today was the Nigeria Youth4Peace Award, which is our own strategy at rewarding and recognizing young people who are doing excellently well in terms of preventing violent conflicts and promoting peace in Nigeria. Today, we gave out $150 to 2 outstanding young peace builders in Nigeria, and we felt that this kind of effort will go a long way in encouraging them at least to continue to do their work and support them in ensuring that their work is to a certain extent sustained.
To Building Blocks for Peace Foundation and other organizations who have partnered with them to make this event successful, I say thank you so very much for what you do. This is an encouragement to me personally, and also a call for me to do more. So I will keep passing this knowledge of peace, because there is need for peaceful coexistence between people, and we need to let the young ones know so that they can be champions and ambassadors in their local communities. Thank you once again, and God bless you.
We are going to remain undaunted. We are going to remain unchallenged. We want to continue to work towards peace building in our communities, in our countries, at the local level, at the national level, at the regional level.
What I just want to say is that as we commemorate the 5th anniversary of 2250, we're already looking ahead to the 10th anniversary, which will happen by 2025. We hope that before the 10th anniversary, we can get more funding. We're asking stakeholders to give more funding to youth peace building interventions across the world. We ask that by 2025, by the 10th anniversary, $1.8 billion will be allocated to youth peace building interventions. We expect that before the 10th anniversary of 2250, would have gotten stronger partnership between youth groups and non-youth groups, the UN of this world, the ECOWAS of this world, the AUs of this world, to see how we can continue to exchange ideas on how we can together ensure that our continent is free of violence and that we can silence the guns in Africa. By 2025, we expect that young people are adequately protected in line with one of the pillars of Resolution 2250, which talks about the protection of young peace builders, the protection of young civilians during conflict and post-conflict situations.